When you think about where milk comes from, what do you think? This is what I think. This is Cora, one of my dairy cows. Currently I have 2 in milk, which is a little bit too many, but I have both Cora and Hanna. They're holsteins and pretty darn good girls. Cora calved early, so her little man is a little bit on the interesting side of life. Got to watch him a little closer than typical, but he's doing he's doing all right. I generally halter break all of my dairy cows because for me it's just a lot easier. That way, if you need to move them pastures or you need to really get in there and help out the calf, they're halter broke. And I don't use a stanchion for my milking. The more docile the cow, the better it is. They trust you, you trust them.
You gotta focus on yourself, on your faith, on your dreams, on your mind, on your health, yeah. You gotta work, never tell, keep your head down, find what you love.
Having no stanchion makes it just a little bit harder to video this kind of thing, so I'll do my best. And if you could leave questions in the comments, that would be great. So Cora gets tied up to this green gate, and she stands very comfortably there. She also knows commands like step up and over, and that's kind of how I get her to move left and right and walk forward. She's really, really good with her commands, and I've had her for a couple of years. We've worked on them since day one. I usually give her a complete brush down before I milk and make sure that her udder is clean and her underbelly is clean and kind of go from there. So I'll just do a little bit of a touch up and get you kind of set up on what I do. Then I take some wipes and I wipe from the top of the teat, around the top of the teat, and straight down. And then I flip on a clean side and grab her teat end so that you don't add things to her teats. Then I do an iodine dip. I give the iodine just a couple seconds to kind of do its magic, and then I wipe them down one more time. And I just generally do the teat ends on this one because the iodine doesn't go all the way up the teats on her. Every other day I do a CMT test to check her somatic cell levels. How you do this is you squirt milk from the teat into the cup, and it goes like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then what you do is you take your cup and you level out your milk so that it's all the same level. You add the same amount of CMT as you have milk in your containers. And you just swirl it in a circle and wait for some change. Like this. See how it's moving really, really well? You want it to not jelly up. And then I just give a couple squirts to get everything cleaned out, and then the loud part starts. So I'm going to overlay this part. So what I'm doing here with Cora is I'm putting her surge bucket belt on, and this will suspend the bucket underneath her belly. This belt has a whole bunch of notches to where you can adjust it accordingly. Now I'm going to put my vacuum line on my bucket and then hook the bucket underneath Cora. The handle of the bucket also has notches to fit on the loop that is already in place on the belt. The next step is to apply the inflations onto the teat ends. Do this gently. Your cow will appreciate it. She definitely will. And like I said before, I'm going to adjust this belt so that it sits a little bit better on her and it allows those inflations to be open so that her flow is much better off of the ends of her teats. I'm going to check these lines periodically. I actually do it a bit more often than periodically to make sure that the flow is coming the way it needs to, or that she hasn't decreased in flow enough to where she's dry on that one side and these inflations can come off. Her lifting her leg up was giving me an indication that the back quarters that her calf likes to nurse on are done. And so I'm going to remove those inflations and focus on the other two. Now I can remove my bucket because she is done milking, and I usually like to try to check her teat ends after I'm done milking her, just to make sure that she hasn't, saved back any milk that needed to be expressed. So I'm going to clean her up from here. I just like to do a quick wipe down make sure there's no residual milk on those teats that a fly might like a little bit better. This here is Fight Back, and I really like this spray. It's a cooling spray, and it basically closes up the teat ends fairly quickly, basically as soon as you spray it on. Teat ends stay open for 30 minutes after milk is expressed out of them. So this is kind of like a quick fix to make sure that everything is hunky-dory. And that's pretty much the routine on milking Miss Cora here. Right now she's kind of low in production because her calf was born early, and it's just kind of how the cookie crumbles. But I'm working with her and everything should be good. But I don't have to worry so much about her production because she calved early, which means that the one that I had to calve in August calved on time. So I have plenty of milk regardless. So she'll go get her treats, her grain that she gets to make sure that her body condition stays good and everything stays happy and well with her. And that way she can take really good care of that little boy that she had. What do you think, Cora? Such a good girl. Thanks, guys. Check you later.
Work, never tell, keep your head down, find what you love and excel, yeah. Push and pull and repel any hate, go create what you want, feel compelled, yeah.